व्यूअर, इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर, इस चैनल पर हम बहुत से टॉप एमएनसीज के प्रोग्रामिंग एंड कोडिंग क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, जैसे कि गूगल, जैसे कि नेटफ्लिक्स, जैसे कि अडोबी और आज तक की टॉप नॉच जैसे कि अमेजॉन। तो अगर आपको इनमें से किसी भी कंपनी से प्यार है या नहीं भी है, तब भी चैनल को जरूर देखना, क्योंकि यहाँ पर हम हर लेवल के, हर टाइप के, हर एमएनसी के या नॉन एमएनसी के, जो कि इंटरव्यू पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से काफी जरूरी हैं, उन प्रॉब्लम्स को डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। साथ ही साथ आप जानोगे कि कैसे हर एक वेबसाइट को जुडिशियसली यूज करना है डिफरेंट पर्पसेस के लिए। अगर आप कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हो, डिफरेंट वेबसाइट इज मेड फॉर दैट। अगर आप एमएनसीज की तैयारी कर रहे हो, डिफरेंट वेबसाइट इज मेड फॉर दैट। बट इन डिफरेंट वेबसाइट्स के बीच में डिफरेंस कैसे पता करें, इन डिफरेंट वेबसाइट्स को कैसे यूज करना है, किन क्वेश्चन के लिए कौन सी वेबसाइट ज्यादा जरूरी है, ज्यादा अच्छी है, ज्यादा टेस्ट केसेस के साथ है, इन सब की अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपको मिलने वाली है इस चैनल पर। तो अगर आपने चैनल को अब तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा है, क्या कर रहे हो, सब्सक्राइब करो एंड हर वीडियो को पूरा देखना और किसी भी वीडियो को मिस मत करना, क्योंकि हर वीडियो के एंड में आपको मिलने वाली है एक बोनस टिप, जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होगी आप सबके लिए। वेदर आप टेक्निकल रोल्स के लिए अप्लाई करो, वेदर नॉन टेक्निकल के लिए अप्लाई करो, क्योंकि ये जनरल प्लस प्रोग्रामिंग के भी टिप्स होंगे, कैसे एक प्रॉब्लम को या कैसे इंटरव्यू में आपको बिहेव करना चाहिए। तो अगर आपने अब तक नहीं सब्सक्राइब करा, सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर लेना। एंड अब टाइम वेस्ट करे बिना आज के कोडिंग क्वेश्चन की तरफ चलते हैं। आज हम क्या नया देखने वाले हैं और आज की बोनस टिप आपको क्या मिलने वाली है। तो चलो विदाउट एनी टाइम वेस्ट आज के कोडिंग क्वेश्चन की तरफ चलते हैं। हेलो एवरीवन, सो आज का क्वेश्चन जो कि आया है सीधा इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म से हमारे इंटरनेशनल फोरम पर, दैट इज मर्ज स्ट्रिंग्स ऑल्टरनेटली। Merge strings alternately. Those who are new to the programming and don't know what is like merge and what is strings all about. So string is a way in which we can represent our normal letters or sentences in any programming language. The way to declare these strings could be different with respect to the programming languages. The syntax can vary, but the actual gist of this concept will remain the same. So if I say A, if I just write A, this is a character, okay? This is a character. But if I write A, B, C, D, then this is my string. So this is the difference between the character and the string. Merge is, there are two things, you need to combine those basically. But here, how to combine these, we will see here, like in the description. And then merge strings alternately. Alternately specifically says that we need to merge it alternatively. Alternatively is like A, B, C, D, E, F. So A, D, B, E, C, F, like that. Okay. The significance of this question, because without the significance and without the relevance, nobody does anything. So the significance of this question is that this question has been asked in the FAANG companies in past 6 months around 10 plus times. 10 plus times. Okay, this is today's problem of the day as well. This is today's problem of the day, and this question comes under the category of easy. Means you can see it as a brain booster type of question in the interviews which are for 1 hour, or you can see them easily in the questions basically that are asked in the phone interviews, because those interviews are not meant to be too long. It could maximum last about an hour, like 30 minutes or so, if it is actually happening through a call. If they are taking like a call interview, like they are saying that it's a phone call interview, but if they are taking it on any of the other medium, let's say on WebEx or Zoom, then be prepared that this is just not a normal phone interview and it will last for more than 30 minutes. There are rare chances, like in majority of the cases, I have seen the interviews to be extending above 30 minutes when these are held on these platforms. Whereas if they have actually called you like on your phone, then there are lesser chances that the interview will extend above the time, until and unless you are not wanting it. Because In my case, I have extended my interview, which is expected to be end at like 20 minutes or 30 minutes to 40 minutes, because I started interacting with the panel and asked them the questions about what are their experiences and so on. Okay, so you can also do the same if you want, but it's like totally up to you. It's not necessary. I am not being marked on how I interact with those interviewers basically. Okay, so we are technically analyzing on our technical skills, like how fast we can or we are able to solve the question and how optimal our solution is. Okay, so this is the two major things on which we are marked upon. And now let's discuss the question. So you are given two strings, word 1 and word 2. Merge the strings. Let me erase this. Merge the strings by adding letters in alternating order, starting with word 1. Okay, if a string is longer than the other, then append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string. Okay, so return the merged string. We need to return it. Now let's see the example, what it is saying. So I guess the question was pretty straightforward and it is clear, but we will understand it again by seeing an example of it. So I'll just remove it, and yeah. So here the string was A, B, C, E. Let's do that. A, B, C, E. And the other string is P, Q, and R. Okay. So the output will be A, P, B, Q, C, R, E. And if let's say this has more letters, let's say F, G, so it will be appended at the end. This is what this question is asking about. If this question has not specified, like let's say that this statement doesn't exist, and if this question hasn't like specified to you that if the string is longer, then what you need to do, then this will be your clarifying question that you should ask to the interviewer once you see this question. Straightforward. If you forget to ask this question, then basically out of like 10, you can expect that you are already on 8, because this is something that the interviewer expects you to ask if you have read the question properly, nicely, and with awareness. Okay, so just take this thing in mind that I want to tell you, like please, okay, ask these clarifying questions, because on these clarifying questions you are being marked upon. Okay, so let's move on. So here I guess the gist of the question is clear, that what it is asking us to say, like what it is asking us to do. Now there are different ways to approach this problem basically. The first thing could be that you can run basically a loop. As the strings we need to merge them alternatively, so a loop will be required. But how efficiently your loop works and what are the methods that you use makes a lot of difference. And I have been seen through that. That's why I'm telling you that the method, the functions, the data structure which you will adopt to solve this question will affect, like, will be a major factor for affecting your performance of the solution. Okay, so we need to run two loops basically, because we need to iterate these two strings. The first thing that we could say here is that will be solved using the two pointer approach. As soon as like we have solved this much questions, I guess now you should be able to guess like which thing or which question is which concept will be used in which question. And if this is still not clear to you, then please do mention why in the comment section. It is for DS and Algo series, where we'll be discussing all of the data structures and algorithms in detail in a separate playlist. When to use which data structure and which algorithm will perform on the basis of use cases, so that your thinking capability is developed. Like when you see the question, you can basically identify that okay, this question might be solved using this approach. Okay, so for this, do mention why in the comments. Otherwise, if you don't mention anything, it will automatically be considered as a no by default. Okay, so here the approach that we could use is two pointer approach. In the two pointer approach, what we will do, we'll run a loop basically, which will run until it is like less than s1 length, until it is less than s1 length, and j is less than s2 length. Okay, we will run the loop and we will take, let's say, a string which is known as result. Okay. Now what we'll do is basically we will append this. Result plus equals to word of I, result plus equals to word of J, okay, and then I plus plus J plus plus, and this will solve. And then I'll run one more loop here to tackle if my, let's say, this string is long and if my this string is long. Okay, and we will do the same task here also. So this is the thing, or this is the solution, but this solution lacks somewhere, or here we have a drawback for this solution. And I encourage you now, do pause the video, look into this part and see where, at what places this solution can be improved. If you are not able to see, or if you are not able to get what I have wrote here, then I'm saying it to you, while brackets I is less than s1 length and j is less than s2 length, result plus equals word I, result plus equals word j, I plus plus j plus plus, braces close. Okay. So now this portion itself could be more improved. Now take a pause the video, think out for a minute or so, and then start the video and see how efficient or how much you were able to guess, like where are the improvement parts. I won't encourage you to skip this thing. Do pause it, because then you will be brainstorming it, you will be learning it along with the video. It will be helpful for you in the later stages. Okay, so do I'll encourage you to do it even if you don't want to. Okay, so I guess you must have paused the video and now you have come back. So let's discuss this thing. Here we are doing result plus is equals to word I, okay, which will be translated into, this statement is translated into this result plus word of I. Okay, now here if you see, here we are appending. Okay, we are appending this. Appending takes a bit of time. Okay, so instead of appending, what we can do is, string is also considered as a vector of characters. Okay, so we can just use the method of vector here, push back, and it will insert this at the end, which will be really fast. Just a minute, what is happening going on? Which will be really fast here. So this is something that we could do. The another part is that here I am appending word I and word j, and then I am incrementing I plus plus and j plus plus. Okay, these things I am doing. We can combine this into one statement, basically, word I plus plus and word j plus plus. This also saves our space, our line, our time complexity as well. Okay, so I guess you understood the solution. If not, let's just we are writing it out so it will be more clear to you. But first, before that, let's erase it and make it more clearer so that when I type, you are able to get it in the way I want you to get it, basically. No, what do you say? Just erase it. Yeah, done. So now let's type the solution. So here the solution will be, run a loop with 2 pointers I and j, which will run according to the length of the string for which they are assigned for. Inside the loop, we will insert the characters of both the string turn by turn into the result string, and here into the result string. After this main loop, we will run another true loops which will basically handle the case when we have either of the string longer than other. Inside these loops, we will do the same thing as we were doing in our main loop, except that it will be done only on one string. Okay, so we will run a loop basically with the two pointers I and j, which will run according to the length of the strings. Let's say I is assigned for word 1 length and j is assigned for word 2 length, so they will run according to that. Like that will be their end condition. Inside the loop, we will insert the characters of both the string turn by turn and into the resultant string, and after this main loop we will run the another two loops which will basically handle the case. Okay, like if either of the strings is longer, then we will insert those characters bang 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 into the other resultant string. Okay, so I hope now the solution and the approach is pretty clear to you. If you have any doubts, any questions, then do mention in the comment section and I'll definitely look it out and try to respond it as soon as possible. And now, so let's move on to the most exciting part of the video, which is the coding part. So let's move on. So here this question is 1786, merge strings alternatively, platform is Leetcode. This is problem of the day. This is Streak's question. Today, this is what we have already understood. So let's see the example. So A, B, C and P, Q, R. Now here the merge will be A, P, B, Q, C, R. Whereas if this, so A, B, P, Q, and then we will be inserting R, S continuously. Okay, and the similar case for this. So now let's, like we have understood this, so let's move on to the coding part directly. So int I, J, N1 for word. I am editing that to this thing. Okay, word 1 length, and N2 will be word 2 length, and I and j are my variables, so these will be initialized with 0, and we'll make this string result. Now while I is less than n1 and j is less than n2, result dot pushback word I plus plus, result dot pushback word, this is w1, this is w2, j plus plus, and then while I is less than n1, result dot pushback w1 I plus plus, and the similar thing we'll do but with the case of j. N2, this will be w2, this is j, and let's return the result. Let's dry run it once. So if it is A, B, C, N1 is my 3, N2 is also 3, I is initially 0, J is initially 0. So here the result will be, in this case, A. Here after this execution it will be B, A, B, and then I is incremented, J is incremented, it will be B, A, B, A, P, then B, Q, and then C, R. Okay, so This looks fine. Let's try submitting it. Guess I have don't made any errors. Let's see it. Okay, so the solution is accepted. Let's try submitting it. The golden coin revolved here. Okay, let's try submitting it again because it's 38.78. This is, I won't say this is bad, but this is something like it could not be that much low, because it's like we are running just one loop here and it should be more, I guess. So let's try running it again. You know, now sometimes the APIs and stuff disturbs the whole thing. But here it is stuck on 38 point this one, but the space complexity is 85.93. I don't know why it is here, because the solution is more optimal. Like, it could not be better than this, because we are running just one loop here, which is required, and the result string. So if I could have like appended it, then the space complexity should be more. But here we have not appended it, we are just pushing it back, so the time complexity should be more compared to here, but don't know why. Let's see, because like I have tried this question all on some other machine. Maybe it's the issue and difference between the machines. I have done it on the different machine and it was passing like the similar solution with 100%. Okay, but I can assure you like the solution is correct, and do just like, if you see the question again in your interviews, just implement this, and I can guarantee you that interview will be cleared with good marks, and you must have nailed that. Okay, because the solution, it's the best. Okay, it can be improved further. If you know any of the solutions, like any of the ways to improve it further, just share it in the comment section. Okay, so if you like today's question, today's video, today's explanation, then do not forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Share it with your friends, because sharing education is really a good deed. And stay tuned with the channel to get to know more updates related to computers, programming, interviews and kind of stuff. And at the end of the video, I would like to say you all thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye. Love you all, guys.